Good afternoon, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed alumni, and distinguished guests. Welcome. Welcome to the Leadership Manatee Alumni's annual Kent Schulz Award Luncheon. We get together each year to celebrate truly exceptional individuals, those that have shaped our community and continue to inspire others. My name is Dennis Cooley, and it's great to be here, joined by our very special guest of honor, this year's winner of the Kent Schulz Award, and somebody that I am truly privileged to call my friend, Jim Boyd. Go ahead, round of applause, please. We're gonna learn more about Jim from Judge Smith here just shortly. Sorry, Senator Boyd, I should say this right. But those that don't know him, and I'm guessing probably everybody here already does, but let me just say this. Jim is a true pillar of our community. You know, he's a long-standing citizen, he's an engaged community member, he's a successful business owner, he's a respected senator, he's got a great family. I mean, he's just an all-around good guy. You know, he personifies service, commitment to excellence, everything that is the very spirit of Leadership Manatee. So before I ask us to stand and join us in the pledge, let me just add one more thing. Look around the room, and the room is literally filled with leaders. We're all leaders here. So if I could, think about the collective impact that this group has had on our community and just renew that spirit to continue to make Manatee County a better and brighter place. And as outgoing treasurer, renew your membership each and every year, please. So if you would, let's join me for the pledge. I pledge allegiance Thank you all. So before we begin our lunch, I'll just ask Carly Hudson to come up and do the invocation, please.
Okay, if we could just bow our heads for a moment and honor God. Thank you, Lord. Thank you for this day. Thank you for everyone that we're able to gather here in this room and honor leadership. We know that all authority is put in place by you, God. I thank you for the leaders that are in this room. I thank you for the things that they have done and the things that they will do. I hope that they follow you and that you lead them in all their days. God, I ask that you bless this food to the nourishment of our bodies, bless the hands that prepared it and the hands that provided it so we can better do your will. And we pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, Carly. So it's now time to enjoy our lunch, and we'll resume programming in about 20 minutes or so. Thank you.
Your lunch. Now it's time that I invite Jackie Dzelski up here to the podium to provide an update on Leadership Manatee program. Thank you, Jackie.
Good afternoon, and it's great to see a packed house to support the Alumni Association and to honor Senator Boyd with the Kent Schulz Award. Many of you in the room know the history of Leadership Manatee, but for any of you who may not or just weren't paying attention during orientation because you were worried about SimSoc, I'll give you a couple of high points, which is Leadership Manatee was launched now just over 40 years ago by the Manatee Chamber of Commerce and Bradenton Kiwanis to ensure that Manatee County never lacked for leaders who had an in-depth and well-rounded view of the opportunities and challenges that face our community, and that we as leaders need to rise to the occasion to address. We just graduated the 40th Leadership Manatee class about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Do we have any graduates from this year's class? Congratulations. So, and applications for our next cohort will be available starting tomorrow. So, for those of you in the room who are graduates of the program, you are by far the best advocates for encouraging others to consider applying for the program. So, please make a note of that. Applications will be due by May 17th. We do have one announcement. You all will be the very first group to hear the news about one change we're making to Leadership Manatee, which is we feel that SimSoc and colors have run their course. And so I'm just kidding, April Fools. I wanted to make sure y'all were paying attention, so just kidding. No, but in all seriousness, please consider encouraging someone within your circle, within your network, within your organization to apply for the program. And for those of you who have served in leadership roles with either Leadership Manatee, the Alumni Association, or Junior Leadership Manatee, thank you. Thank you for keeping the profile of the program at such a high level. Thank you for keeping the goals as well as all of the day's agendas relevant to where we want to see Manatee County head. And to Senator Boyd, congratulations on the Kent Schulz Award. We're thrilled to be celebrating you this afternoon.
All right, thank you, Jackie. Next, we're going to call up Shauna Francis, and Shauna is going to come to the podium and provide us highlights and updates for Junior Leadership Manatee.
Thank you. Hello, all the Leadership Manatee alumni, guests, and congratulations, Senator Boyd. My name is Shauna Francis. I am the Director of Volunteer Services and Engagement at HCA Florida Blake Hospital, and I've had the absolute privilege of serving on the board for Junior Leadership Manatee for the past 4 years. I am currently the president, so I will be stepping away from the role, but I will be remaining on the board to support the new president. I have just received so much joy from working with these high school juniors. So our enrollment also is currently open, but our website is down. We've had a little bit of a technical difficulty that happened to the Alumni Association a couple years ago as well, so we're working on that. But this year, our juniors, we are about to graduate 43 high school juniors from Junior Leadership Manatee, and they represent every single high school except for Bayshore. If anybody has a link to get into Bayshore, help me out here. But every single high school almost is represented, and they are just our bright future leaders. They are amazing to work with. They're sharp, they're inquisitive, and they honestly, they sacrifice those token and precious days off of school when all their friends are going to the beach and having fun. They're hopping on the bus and doing the program just like everybody that participated in Leadership Manatee did. They have 6 program days, and they consist of health and human needs, law enforcement, agriculture, media and marketing, business and industry, and culture and recreation. So again, if you know any rising juniors that are currently sophomores that you think would benefit from this program, we would love to have them on board. They are just they're our future. We're hoping that they go out and they go to school and they come back to Manatee County and immerse themselves and contribute. So they are just bright young leaders. So again, send them my way, but it's been a pleasure to serve as president this year. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Shauna. So I would like to express my gratitude for the Manatee Chamber staff and board of directors, the Bradenton Kiwanis, the Junior Leadership Board of Directors, Leadership Manatee Board of Directors, and Leadership Manatee Alumni Association Board of Directors. You see, thriving and growing communities need a thriving and growing leadership base, and these groups of civic-minded and engaged people are committed to ensuring that we're building leadership base every single year. So thank you for that. And thank you for investing in developing Manatee County's future leaders. You know, it takes all of us together to make this happen. It's now time for the best part of the luncheon, the awarding of the Kent Schulz Distinguished Leadership Award If you are a prior honoree, could you please stand for me? Thank you. Ken Schulz was a leadership alumnus who was always involved in our community and never hesitated to lend a hand. As a tribute to his involvement in Manatee County, the Alumni Association created an award in his honor. With us today is Kent's son, Logan Schulz. I invite Logan to the podium to share a few words about his father, Kent, and his legacy.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Logan Schulz, and it is my privilege to be here today to talk about the Kent C. Schulz Distinguished Alumni Award. I also want to thank you personally for letting me come and speak to take a little bit of a break from medical school and being interrogated by my attending for all the diseases and drugs. So appreciate that a lot. But first, I want to quickly commend all of you on your outstanding achievements this past year and give a sincere thank you to the outgoing board members and congratulate the new. As a junior Leadership Manatee alumnus myself, I've known about Leadership Manatee for a long time, and I'm continually impressed by the wide gamut of areas that you all are involved in and by how much is accomplished each year, which we've just learned about from some of the highlights. Seeing how Leadership Manatee has grown over the past 2.5 decades and how many of you never got the chance to meet Kent, I felt honored when asked to talk about this award and who it was named after. This distinction was developed 27 years ago to remember and honor my father, Kent Schulz, a Leadership Manatee graduate who passed away from cancer at a mere 34 years of age. Since my brother and I were only 3 and 1 at the time, all of what we know about him is from stories from our family, anecdotes from those who knew him, and his numerous contributions to the wider community and to Manatee County. Reflecting on these shared memories and rereading many letters written about my father in preparation for this speech, I'd like to share with you a little bit about his life today and shed some light on the recurring themes and characteristics that made him such an incredible man. Born in December of 1961 in St. Louis, Missouri, Kent was known for his radiant personality, seen in the way he touched people and made them happy to be alive. He was described as someone who always had a smile on his face and looked for the good in everyone. Many of his friends, a handful of which called him Schultzy, have told me that whenever he could make a positive difference in a person's day, he would do so quietly. He didn't look for credit or praise to be given to him. He was content to have performed the act of kindness, and he needed nothing in return. While studying business at Southern Methodist University in Dallas, Texas, he was a fraternity man who was known as a natural athlete and was competitive in whatever sport he picked up, whether it be soccer, racquetball, skiing, billiards, you name it. It was in his early college years that he also met his future wife and my mom, Kimberly, on a blind date in what later I found to be the same dorm that I lived in during my freshman year at Southern Methodist University. After marrying, my parents decided to move to Bradenton, Florida, to start their family and establish their own business. Although this was a return home for my mother, who graduated from Manatee High, it did not take long for Kent to become an engaged member of the wider community. To begin, he was a successful businessman who, together with Kim, operated blockbuster video franchisees in Manatee and Sarasota counties. Beginning with 2 stores in 1991, they expanded to 3, 4, and even as he was slipping away, the 5th was being scheduled to open. Kent took great pride with growing his business alongside my mom, and together they made sure to involve the franchise in supporting local community efforts. And they made their stores safe havens for children, for example, hiring and mentoring young people and teaching them interpersonal and business skills, and sponsoring numerous kids' sports teams, just to name a few. Along with the great pride he got in his growing business and his family, Kent found great joy in learning and addressing community problems and found fulfillment in being active in numerous causes in Manatee County, just like all of you here today with Leadership Manatee. Having gotten a hold of Kent's Leadership Manatee application from 1991, just a few years after Senator Boyd went through the program, it was very interesting reading some of his thoughts about 3 pressing problems and areas of improvement for Manatee County in the early 90s. These 3 areas included 1, education. Notably, our duty to ensure a strong fundamental education for kids during their primary years and our obligation to equip them with proper tools necessary to become productive members of our society. 2, transportation, specifically our needs to invest in improving the quality of roads, providing better public transportation, and increasing the number of bike paths, all to meet the demands of a growing city, attract tourists, and bring in new industries. And lastly, crime, where he elucidated how preventing it does not solely demand the time and efforts of our law enforcement officers. Instead, he explained how we needed to focus attention on potential problems early in one's life, recommending that we need to support vulnerable populations, such as high school dropouts, and finding ways to help support them early on for a productive life. I could go on about Kent and all about the involvement he had outside of Leadership Manatee, such as when he was an active member of the Manatee Chamber of Commerce, involved in Bradenton Kiwanis Club's Big Buddy program that mentored fatherless boys, and being a part of Sarasota Manatee Association for Riding Therapy program that provided therapeutic horseback riding for children with disabilities. But for time's sake, I hope these examples illustrate to you that despite being only a member of Manatee County for 5 years, he accomplished a lot in a very short amount of time and truly cared about building a better community. His dedication to serving others is something I've personally tried to embody in my own life, having volunteered at a remote clinic in Haiti for over a year and currently doing my clinical rotations for FSU Medical School at Sarasota Memorial Hospital and surrounding clinics. Although Kent left us at such a young age, he did live long enough to make a lasting impact on those who knew him and was able to enjoy a happy and successful life. He was a loyal friend, a devoted father, a loving husband, a well-known jokester, and so many other things to so many other people. Kent was proud to be a graduate and alumnus of your selective group, and I know he would be extremely impressed and grateful for all the hard work you've done to make this amazing community better and a place that we call home. So I, as well as the Schulz and Conard families, want to thank you all for continuing to remember Kent in such a special way with this very meaningful award. Senator Boyd, your long history of involvement in Manatee County and your numerous career accomplishments, as we have heard about and will soon hear more about, speak volumes to the kind of man that you are. It is evident that you are an inspiring leader, and it is plain to see that you've undoubtedly impacted the lives of many through your public service. Therefore, from my family to yours, I congratulate you on this well-deserved award. Thank you all.
All right, thank you, Logan. Appreciate that. Each year, the Kent Schulz Award is presented to a Leadership Manatee alumni who has shown exceptional leadership and service. And for this year's recipient, I'd like to invite the Honorable Judge Gilbert Smith to give us a glimpse into the impact Senator Boyd has made in our community.
Well, it's so nice to be here among so many friends and leaders in the community. And so congratulations, Senator Jim Boyd. And also congratulations to Sandy, to Ansley, and to Austin. I don't know where Austin's sitting, but to Austin also for your support and your love of your father and joining him with volunteering in the community and leading this community. So with a positive outlook, a great sense of humor, and a keen intellect, Jim Boyd was destined to be successful as a volunteer and a leader. And believe it or not, he's just getting started. How did that happen? Well, Jim grew up in Palmetto, a special town where serving your community was just part of everyday life. His family has always been involved in that community going back generations. His grandfather, Hugh, and his uncle, Wilbur, were both legislators. His dad, Hugh, and his uncle, Wilbur, were in the Palmetto JCs for years and did so much for the community. As well as his mom also was a public servant for many, many years. Now, Jim became a Boy Scout, and he and his monkey, yeah, I did say his monkey, served the community in different ways, and you'll hear more about the monkey later, I'm sure. After graduating from Florida State University And returning home, Jim became a successful businessman. And of course, Jim felt the calling again. He became a fire commissioner for the North River Fire District and as a volunteer firefighter and EMT. And Sheriff, if 911's called, there's no need to anybody to show up today because Jim's here and he can revive anybody. I don't know if he's carrying a gun though, so. Then in 1989, he was elected to the Palmetto City Council and went on to serve as the city's mayor and vice mayor. And then finally in 2010, he was elected as state representative, and he continued to volunteer. You know, so often people get elected to positions and they stop volunteering that gave them good reason to be elected. But Jim continued to volunteer. And for many years, he taught the Law Merit Badge with the sheriff to Boy Scouts, teaching them how laws are created. And many of these boys are now in law school or lawyers, and doesn't that make you feel old? And so let me talk about something personal to just about everybody here because it affects everybody's families, and that is drugs. And so Jim, because of his experience in EMT and has his experience as a leader in the community, realized how the pill mills were such a tragic part of the Florida state, Florida community. And when he became a legislator, he took that on to fight for families, which is an ongoing fight, and Jim's continuing the fight to help families that have been affected, somebody in their family, with fentanyl. And he passed legislation time and time again. He was successful doing that to strengthen the laws, which I get to apply. And so we're all thankful for that. And so now, in conclusion, I want all the graduates here, all of you that are graduates of Leadership Manatee, and especially the recent grads, to listen to what I'm about to read. Now, when the Bradenton Herald endorsed Jim for city council a few years ago, that was 1989, Jim. And listen to what the Bradenton Herald said. As a recent graduate of Leadership Manatee program, Boyd has been recognized as a potential leader, and the course has given him a solid background in the overall workings of local government, of its role in setting policy, its relationship to the business community, its obligation to its citizens. So, congratulations, Jim. Well deserved.
Senator Boyd, if you could come and accept your award and say a few words for us.
Thank you. That's very, very nice. Appreciate it. If I don't put it there, I'll break it. I'll put it there for safekeeping, otherwise I would probably break it. I didn't write anything to say today, and I apologize for the emotions, but so many things are going through my mind today. Logan, thank you for those kind words. I too lost my father when I was 3. He, I believe, was the kind of guy your dad was. Worked hard in the community, did the best he could for those around him, and served in a non-recognized way, just wanted to do the right thing. And so this honor today has special meaning because it's your family, but also because my family kind of went through the same things you did. I've known your your grandparents for a long, long time. I kidded at the lunch table a little while ago when I was in college. Blake Hospital, which Dr. Connard and some of his colleagues founded, as most of you all know, gave us all, including Judge Smith, I believe, work during the summer. And I kidded you, the aspiring new doctor, that your granddad used to boss me around in a good way. But it was always so nice to see these gentlemen and ladies that were part of that medical community that did so much to take care of the needs of those in our community. And I know you'll be a great doctor, and you're coming from a great university, so that'll even help you more. But thank you for being part of this today. I'm not going to say a lot, but I will address the monkey. Because my father passed away at a very young age, he was 37, I was 3, I think my mother always felt like she had to indulge me with the things that I wanted to do, and to try to maybe fill some gaps. So one time I was reading in the Boy's Life magazine of the Boy Scouts about you could buy a monkey, and I think it was $15, and you had to go to the airport close by and pick it up. And so I talked my mother into doing it. We sent our $15. We got the word that the monkey had arrived at Sarasota International, and we went down to get him, and promptly named him Mortimer. That was the monkey's name. He got out of the cage or the box, as soon as I opened it. You can imagine this is not, Peter would not approve of this. Coming from South America to Florida, cooped up in a little box, the monkey was ready to go when I opened it, and he sprung out, and we never really got to see the monkey much again. But my mother, being my mother, will fix that. So she found a pet store in Sarasota that actually sold monkeys. And we got another one who was a companion for a while, rode on my bicycle when I delivered papers. And I know it sounds really weird and crazy, but then he grew a little bit older, and we decided he would best be served in a monkey community. So we found one in Sarasota that had a thing out east where they took wayward monkeys, and Mortimer ended up being one of those. I remember what Cliff Walters, I believe, had told me a long time ago as an elected official: when somebody says nice things about you, the best thing you can do is say thank you and sit down. So that's what I probably should do right now, Cliff. But I just want to, in all seriousness, I'm reminded, as Jackie said, Leadership Manatee has been in existence for 40 years. I think I was in the 4th class in 1988, so that makes me feel even older today. But the program was a phenomenal program. I felt like I knew everything about Manatee County. I was born and raised born at Manatee Memorial, raised in Palmetto, and been here all my life, been involved and tried to do things in the community. But I thought I knew everything I needed to know about Manatee County. But I'm telling you, and you Leadership Manatee grads, I think, would agree with me on this. There's things I had no idea about in Manatee County. I learned things about our community that I just didn't even know existed, or services that were provided, or things some of our community partners, especially in law enforcement and some of those other areas, went through and go through. So it really helped me learn how to better serve our community. And so the rest is sort of history. And I got involved in local politics, and then ran for the House, and then ultimately ran for the Senate. And I feel like that can be or is an extension of service to our community. And many of you do many different things to serve the community, and that's why you're here. That's what you are and who you are. My friend Will Robinson, another recipient of this distinguished award, serves very well in Tallahassee, but everybody doesn't want to do that. So what you do every day matters to this community, and it makes a big difference in the lives in this community that you touch. So today, being honored with this award has a very special meaning. I'm very grateful. I don't like to get things too much like this, because I feel like serving is better than receiving, but it's very kind of you to honor me with this great award, and especially given the gentleman that it was named after. I didn't know Kent very well. Of course, I knew who he was, but all I've read and all I've heard through the years of what a just a selfless servant he was, and what he meant to our community. So it's special meaning and a great honor. So thank you very much for this. I will treasure this award. We'll place it in a prominent place in our office so all can enjoy it as they come in. But thank you for being here, and thank you for this incredible honor.
Okay, thank you, Senator Boyd. As the outgoing president of the Leadership Manatee Alumni Association, I'm proud of the impact the board has made this past year. Throughout this year, we have had a lot of fun, and we fostered a lot of leadership connections and growth, and we've overcome a few challenges along the way as well, like the time that we looked up and our website had disappeared, only to discover that our domain name was up for auction. So thankfully, with the help of Trey Horn and Devaney Iglesias, we'll be able to keep that domain name off the auction block for the next 7 years. So hopefully 7 years from now, we'll see what happens. But that's just one example of the caliber of leaders and problem solvers we have serving on our board. At this time, I'd like to honor those members who are rolling off and recognize them for their leadership and dedication. If you're here, please stand. Dennis Cooley, Charles Whitfield, Caitlin Kramer, Zach McClary, Greg Guevara, Mandy Ferguson, Devaney Iglesias, and Christy Haley. I'm excited to see the continued growth of the alumni under the direction of Ann Colonna, your president of Leadership Manatee Alumni Association for 2024-2025, and I look forward to seeing each of you at future events. Thank you for the opportunity to serve as your president, and now I invite Ann to introduce the new board of directors and to share her vision for the future.
Thank you. This is quite an honor to be here today with all of you. If I could have Dennis and Lisa join me at the podium to present Josh with his award. Josh, thank you for your service. There's some big shoes to fill, and I'm honored to have been your president-elect. Okay, your turn. Thank you. Thank you. I am thrilled to be stepping into this role of president for our awesome Alumni Association. It's an honor, and I thank you for your trust and confidence in me to lead this. But it would not be possible without our amazing and talented board. Please stand when I call your name and stay standing. Lisa DeVito, Tim Estep, Trey Horn, Sally Lindsay, Annie Clark, Bixby Hartley, Jessica Cruz, Jerry Dakin, Bob Wagner, and Carly Hudson. Thank you. We're looking forward to a really great year. So as we kick off this new chapter, I can't help but think about the amazing things that the alumni in this community have achieved, from groundbreaking innovations and all the differences that you all have made. We, as an organization, have a lot to be proud of. But it's not about looking back, it's about looking forward, and I'm excited about the opportunities we have to connect, support one another, and make a positive impact in our community. Remember, we are always better together. Whether it's through fun events, which I really like fun events, networking opportunities, or giving back, I'm committed to making our Leadership Manatee alumni experience the best it can be. So I invite you all to renew your memberships, reach out to your classmates who aren't here today, who may not be involved, and get them back involved. So here's to us, to the memories we've shared, and to the incredible journey ahead. Let's make this year one for the books. Now, this next line would be better if I had a margarita from Anna Maria Oyster Bar. Oh, wait, I do. I have a margarita from Anna Maria Oyster Bar. So, thank you all for your support. This year, let's dive into reading. Remember to sign up for Dive Into Reading with Anna Maria Oyster Bar. 6 locations, 17 schools, 400 students this year. So, They really need your support in reading to the youth of Manatee County. Get your ducks. Don't forget to get your ducks and support the girls of PACE. So thank you. Thank you all for your support as we move on into a great year that's going to be a great adventure. So cheers. And with that, we are wrapped. Enjoy your afternoon. Board members, if you would stay around for some pictures, that would be great. Thank you all so much.